Hello and welcome to Assembly Hall in Bloomington, Indiana. Robin Washut with HuskerOnline here, trying something a little new today. Going to go live before the game. Going to try to go a little bit after the game as well, and just give a little view of courtside with Robin Washut. So let's take a little walk here. So here's our media section. Not bad. Had Merce. There's the court behind us. I'll take a little walk here. Let's check out and see how the Husker boys are doing. 15-0, 12-3 Indiana. I think Nebraska opened as a 3.5-point dog. I think the line has moved to 4.5 at this point. So clearly the bettors are thinking Nebraska's other shoe is going to drop today. We'll see. I picked them to win. I don't know how much confidence I had in it, but you know what? I kind of learned this year that anytime you doubt this Nebraska team, they prove you wrong. So I'm going to keep riding it. And if they lose, it is what it is. And that's the same thing for Nebraska, too. Like, this is a game where a loss doesn't really hurt them. Obviously, it'd be disappointing to have the undefeated streak and, going back to last season, if the crown come to an end. But the reality is that Nebraska has built up so much equity at this point that, they can stand to lose a true Big Ten Conference road game and do just fine. So the key is, if for some reason the loss finally happens today, how do they respond? And I think the good thing is that with this group in particular, I'm confident because of the way they handle success. A lot of teams would get fat and happy and let this winning streak get to their heads and it affect their play. Well, this team just keeps on swinging, keeps on fighting. And I think after a loss, that mentality is going to do them a lot of good. So if it happens today, if it happens whenever, in February, or if it happens in March, I think that this group is built to maintain a level mentality to withstand the highs and the lows that come with the season. So it's been all good so far. We'll see. I think they can do it. I think Indiana's an interesting matchup because of the volume in which they shoot the three-pointer, the way that they run an offense that is really similar to Nebraska. And that can be a good and bad thing. Nebraska knows what to expect, but they also know that type of offense can be extremely difficult to defend. I think the big advantage Nebraska has with this one is their inside game. I think Rink Mast is going to be a critical component in this game. Berke Björkjul, defending the post especially, is going to be critical. Now, Indiana does a really good job of chasing defenders off the three-point line. They also don't have nearly the size, to hold up with, I think, a true All-Big Ten level center like Rink Mast. So I think you don't want to go over and beyond and get out of your game and give up the three-pointer, but I think that they have an advantage to get the ball inside. And I think what Nebraska's really been good about is finding different ways to win. The theme going into the season was that they were going to live and die by the three. And that has been the case at times this year, but their adaptability to win with defense, to win with a traditional paint game, has, I think, a big reason why they're 15-0 right now. And I think this is a game where you have to be versatile. If the threes aren't falling early, you cannot force the issue and start jacking up a bunch of contested shots. They've gotten into that habit a little bit this year, especially in some of those bye games where they just try to shoot their way out of funks. If you try to shoot your way out of a funk today and let Indiana start to snowball on you, it can get ugly for you quick. So I think they've got to stay with their game plan. They've got to continue to hammer the ball inside and then take the threes when they're there. And then obviously it just comes down to putting the ball in the basket. But, I think that this is an interesting matchup too, in the sense that Indiana, they're 12-3 right now. They've got some confidence. But their record, they don't have a lot of signature wins right now. They have the big win last time out, but they're kind of one of those teams that kind of beat everybody up in non-conference play. We're able to skew the metrics a little bit. And I think Nebraska's a little more battle-tested, to be honest with you. They've been there, done that. So that's the nice thing about this is the crowd. We'll see kind of even what crowd it is. Obviously, last night with the football game, we were down in Bloomington last night, and it was, I think it's kind of one of those deals where you're like, are Indiana fans going to be like wallowing in pity if the football team lost, or are they going to be too hungover to show for the game if they won? We'll see. It's obviously early. The crowd really hasn't started to fill in. I have noticed several Nebraska fans here today. Not many, but some. So, they'll have at least some following here. But, I think that the big thing for Nebraska, is all about composure, transition defense, and being able to not flinch when adversity hits. They've been excellent at doing that all season long. I would anticipate that happening again. And obviously, if you look behind me here, that's our guy, Oogie. He is ruled out today, and something to monitor going forward is this game today marks the final point that he can be eligible to apply for a medical hardship waiver. We'll see. As far as everything that I've heard leading up to this week, and I wrote this in my tunnel talk, was if he can play, he's going to play. And a lot of it is just he's going to be day-to-day for the rest of the season. It's a tricky back injury that all depends on how he feels when he wakes up in the morning and then how he gradually progresses through stretching, warm-ups, shoot-around, all that stuff. So clearly today was not a day where the back felt great, but everything that I've been told is that they want to play him this year. He wants to play this year. He's only made one regular season appearance so far this season. But, this is a season where I don't know if you save your ammo for next year. You go all in on this year. Like, there's too much on the table. There's too much at stake for this season and what this season could be that you need all hands on deck. So if he can play, I would anticipate that he's going to be available in the lineup. The other thing to think about, though, is Nebraska only played 8 guys last time out at Ohio State. I don't anticipate them expanding that rotation very much going forward. So if Oogie is available, even what role would he have? I think that if just having the depth behind Rink Mast, having another center that can orchestrate the offense, at least at somewhat of a level that Rink can, is invaluable. And that's why I think that if he's available to play and they need him, Nebraska will play him this year, and they're not going to worry about saving him for next year. But don't have to worry about the day. He's out, and Nebraska's got business to take care of here in Bloomington. Signing off for now. Catch me after the game, and let's do this. Let's keep it rolling.